When my stepmother-in-law ignored my parenting rules, the fallout was instant. My husband and I have been married for 7 years. We have 2 kids, ages 4 and 7, and we live in a suburban neighborhood. From the start, I have been very clear with my husband and his family about how I want to raise our children, including strict rules about screen time, diet, and discipline. My husband has always supported me, but his mother, my stepmother-in-law, has been a different story. She moved in with us temporarily after her divorce, promising to help with the kids and household chores. At first, things seemed fine, but soon I noticed she was ignoring many of the parenting instructions I had laid out. She would let the kids watch TV for hours, feed them junk food, and even let them stay up late on school nights. When I confronted her, she brushed it off, saying she was just trying to let the kids have fun and that I was too strict. I tried to be patient and explained that consistency was important for the children's well-being, but she didn't listen. One afternoon, I came home early from work and found her giving candy to my youngest right before dinner, which was a direct violation of the diet rules we had agreed on. I told her firmly that this was unacceptable, and she snapped back, accusing me of being a control freak and not trusting her. The tension in the house grew, and my husband was caught in the middle. He wanted to support his mother, but also didn't want to upset me. I felt like my authority as a parent was being undermined, and it was affecting my relationship with both my husband and his mother. One evening, after a particularly heated argument, my stepmother-in-law stormed out and said she was going to stay with her sister for a few days. During her absence, things were peaceful, but when she returned, she acted as if nothing had happened, continuing to ignore the rules and dismiss my concerns. I decided to set a family meeting to address the issues openly. I laid out the rules again and asked for everyone's commitment to follow them for the sake of the children. My husband supported me, but his mother refused to agree, saying she was only there to help and that she shouldn't be micromanaged. The situation escalated when she took the kids to a fast food restaurant without telling me, and they came home with a bunch of sugary snacks. My youngest had a tantrum that night, and I blamed the lack of routine and discipline. I told my husband that if his mother couldn't respect our rules, she couldn't stay with us anymore. He was torn, but agreed that something had to change. I gave her a deadline to improve her behavior, but she continued to disregard the rules. One morning, I found the kids watching cartoons at 10 a.m. on a weekday, and when I asked her about it, she said they need to enjoy their childhood. I felt completely disrespected and powerless. Finally, I told her she had to move out, which she did reluctantly, but the damage to our relationship was done. My husband was upset about the conflict, but understood why it was necessary. The kids missed their grandmother, but I knew it was better for their stability. Since then, I've been trying to rebuild trust and set clearer boundaries with my husband's family. The whole ordeal was exhausting and emotionally draining, and I often wonder if I was too harsh or if I did the right thing standing up for my parenting. After my stepmother-in-law moved out, the house felt quieter, but also strangely empty. The kids missed her presence, even though I knew the environment was healthier without her disregarding the rules. My husband and I tried to reassure the children that Grandma loved them, but had to live somewhere else for now. We promised to visit her regularly so they wouldn't feel abandoned. During this period, I focused on reinforcing the routines and boundaries we had set for the kids. I noticed a positive change in their behavior and moods. They were sleeping better, eating healthier, and seemed more settled overall. My husband and I felt relieved, but also wary about what might happen next with his mother. A few weeks later, my stepmother-in-law started calling and texting frequently, apologizing for her behavior and saying she missed the kids terribly. She asked if she could come back to stay, promising she would follow all the rules this time. My husband was conflicted. He wanted to keep the peace, but also didn't want to undermine me or the progress we had made. I agreed to a trial visit, hoping she had truly changed, but within days, the old patterns reemerged. She was sneaking junk food to the kids, letting them stay up late, and ignoring my instructions about screen time when I confronted her. She became defensive and said I was too controlling and that the kids needed freedom to enjoy their childhood. My husband tried to mediate, but it only made things worse. The tension in the house escalated quickly. The kids picked up on the conflict and started acting out. I felt overwhelmed and exhausted, trying to balance my role as a mother, wife, and mediator was taking a toll on my mental health. One afternoon, I found my youngest with a stomach ache after eating a large candy stash my stepmother-in-law had hidden for her. That was the breaking point for me. I told my husband we needed to have a serious talk with his mother and set non-negotiable boundaries. We sat down with her and explained that while we loved her and appreciated her help, the children's health and well-being came first. We gave her a clear list of rules she had to follow if she wanted to be involved in their lives. She reluctantly agreed, but warned that she wouldn't be micromanaged and that she expected respect for her role as grandmother. I tried to accept that, but deep down, I was worried this was just the calm before the storm. Over the next few weeks, she made some effort to comply, but there were still moments of defiance and disregard. I kept a journal of incidents to discuss with my husband. We agreed that if things didn't improve, we would have to reconsider her involvement altogether. The kids were confused and upset by the back and forth. They loved their grandmother, but didn't understand why she sometimes broke the rules. I tried to explain that grown-ups sometimes make mistakes, but that we had to keep them safe and healthy. Meanwhile, my relationship with my husband was strained. He felt caught between loyalty to his mother and supporting me. We had several arguments about how to handle the situation. I sometimes wondered if we could survive this family drama intact. One day, after another incident where she let the kids eat sugary snacks before dinner, I finally told her she couldn't stay with us anymore, that she needed to respect our rules or she wouldn't be welcome in our home. She was furious and accused me of being unreasonable and controlling. The argument escalated until she left in tears, vowing to limit her contact with the kids. Since then, we've maintained a distant relationship. She visits occasionally, but under strict conditions. My husband and I have worked hard to rebuild trust and communicate better. The kids have adjusted and seem happier. Though I know the family dynamic will never be the same. I still struggle with guilt and wonder if I was too harsh, but I also know I had to protect my children. This experience has taught me the importance of setting boundaries and standing firm, even when it's uncomfortable. Since my stepmother-in-law left again, the atmosphere in our home has gradually improved. The kids are happier, healthier, and more settled. My husband and I have been working hard to rebuild our relationship and strengthen our parenting partnership. We've set clear boundaries with his mother about what is acceptable and what isn't, and we've communicated those boundaries firmly but respectfully. Although the tension has eased, there are still moments when I feel the weight of what happened. The trust between me and my husband was tested, and while we've healed, I know it will take time for everything to feel normal again. We've both committed to putting our children's well-being first and to supporting each other as a united front. My stepmother-in-law visits less frequently now, and when she does, it's under strict conditions. She respects the rules because she knows the alternative is losing contact with her grandchildren. The kids have adapted well, and I'm relieved to see them thriving without the chaos that once surrounded us. This whole experience taught me the importance of standing firm on what matters, especially when it comes to my children's health and happiness. It wasn't easy to confront family and risk conflict, but I knew I had to protect my kids from inconsistent and harmful influences. I also learned that communication and boundaries are essential in blended families, and that sometimes love means saying no. My husband and I have grown closer through this ordeal. We've learned to listen more, to support each other's concerns, and to tackle challenges as a team. Our relationship is stronger because we face this crisis together. I'm hopeful that with time, our family will find a new balance where everyone feels respected and valued. Looking back, I don't regret setting those boundaries or asking his mother to leave. It was necessary for our family's stability. I do feel sadness that things had to come to this, but I believe it's for the best. My priority will always be the well-being of my children and the health of our family dynamic. I share this story because I know many people face similar struggles with in-laws and parenting conflicts. It's hard to navigate, but standing up for what you believe in is crucial. Sometimes the hardest decisions are the right ones. And protecting your family means being brave enough to enforce boundaries. Thank you for reading my story. I hope it offers some comfort or guidance to anyone going through a tough family situation. Remember, your voice matters, and your family's well-being is worth fighting for.